Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Chris, your NFL writer here at OccupyFantasy.com, here with a look at the quarterback position for the Week 14 slates on FanDuel, DraftKings, and Yahoo. As always, we would certainly appreciate it if you consider subscribing to the channel, giving us a thumbs up on the video, or leave a comment below if you have any questions about quarterbacks on the slate. We'd be happy to talk to you down in there. You can also consider joining our Discord, where we have Occupy staff and members discussing every single NFL DFS slate throughout the rest of the season and postseason. So if that's something you're looking for, we certainly would like to see you in there. This week, it does feel like the first place a lot of people are going to go at the quarterback position in their lineups is Taysom Hill against the New York Jets. We actually have Taysom projected as the most popular quarterback play on FanDuel and DraftKings this week. That's because the Jets are a pretty poor defense. They played pretty poorly against Gardner Minshew of the Eagles in a spot start last week. We're expecting more of the same from Taysom, who's admittedly a much better deal on DraftKings, where he's just $5,600 here, $7,700 over on FanDuel. Taysom has a finger injury, which may actually limit his throwing upside, which may actually force them to use even more designed runs, which is what we're looking for out of Taysom Hill, frankly. Taysom Hill has an extremely high rushing floor when used appropriately by Sean Payton, given his skill set, and they're facing a really poor rush defense. So that would be one thing to keep in mind with Taysom Hill in your lineups this week. Similar matchup, similar player at this stage of his career anyway, Cam Newton. Very similar price, $5,400 on DraftKings, $7,400 over on FanDuel. Actually projects to be 11% owned. We have that as the second most popular quarterback play on the slate here for Week 14 contests. Really bad performance from Cam before the bye week. Only completed 3 of 15 passes by halftime, was benched basically in the third quarter in that game against the Dolphins. Could not have gone worse after a big opening pass to DJ Moore. Thought we were going to have a better start or a better finish after that start, right? He barely ran in that game as well, so that's another thing to be concerned with here against the Falcons. We won't, if we're playing Cam in our lineups, especially our low risk lineups, we're looking for that rushing upside. The one thing that he does have going for them is that this is an Atlanta defense that allows second most passing touchdowns per game to opposing quarterbacks. So if Cam can get right in the throwing department, he has a real good shot to succeed against the Falcons here. Let's talk about some game stacks and where people are probably going to go with their tournament lineups this week. I do think the first place they're going to go is the Buffalo Bills and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This game is the highest total on the slate, 53 points according to the odds makers. And Josh Allen on the underdog Buffalo side here, visiting Tampa Bay, should be more popular than Tom Brady. The Bills have the fifth best pass blocking offensive line in the league, and I would expect them to come up with a game plan where they're going to throw and then throw some more after being limited by the wind a little bit against the Patriots on Monday Night Football. On the other side of the matchup, obviously, Tom Brady playing for an offense that is passing at a higher rate than anybody else in football, playing behind the best pass blocking offensive line in the league. He's certainly going to be worthy of a look as well as the home favorite in this matchup. Do like Patrick Mahomes at home against the Las Vegas Raiders quite a bit here. Patrick Mahomes has struggled of late. In fact, his last 5 games have been pretty mediocre by Patrick Mahomes standards, except for his matchup against the Raiders in Week 10. That's where he had his best game of the season. Feel like he's in for a repeat performance against the Raiders here. Maybe 406 yards and 5 touchdowns is a little too much to expect, but still expect Mahomes to have plenty of success against the Raiders defense that is just the 23rd ranked pass defense according to Football Outsiders this season. Dallas Cowboys and the Washington football team. This is another game with one of those. It's got about a 48.5 point total. A lot of games stuck on that number or right around that number this week that have some upside. Dak Prescott at just $6,700 here on DraftKings, $8,100 over on FanDuel. Washington allowing the most fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. And Dak finally has a fully healthy trio of main wide receivers. That's right, Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup will all be available to play here. Certainly expecting Zeke Elliott as well at the running back position to be back there. So Dallas has their starting offense in a big divisional tilt against the football team. Dak should be a strong play here. On the other side of the game, kind of a bargain, kind of sandwiched in price between two popular plays. Taylor Heinecke at home. Dallas allowing 5.9 yards per play on defense to opposing offenses. So it's not like offenses haven't been able to move down the field against the Cowboys. Expect Heinecke to have the ability to do that as well here against Dallas in Week 14. It's a good underdog matchup for sure. Some other quarterbacks that look like they may be interesting this week. Lamar Jackson, always going to project fairly well given how involved he is in the run game for the Ravens. He's had a few bad games in a row here, but this is a Cleveland defense that is actually just 21st defending the pass, so slightly below average, and he's already seen this defense. Hopefully he can have a little more success here in Week 14 than he had in Week 12 in the same matchup. Justin Herbert, not going to have Keenan Allen, is expected to have Mike Williams back from the COVID restricted list. So Justin Herbert is in a good spot to have a big game against the New York Giants in what's shaping up to be a sneaky race for the number 1 seed for the Chargers. So expect Herbert to come out motivated, ready to go. Ryan Tannehill will be getting one of his main receivers back here in this matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the second worst pass defense in the league. Saw the Jacksonville Jaguars get absolutely shredded by Matthew Stafford and the Rams last week. Now Tannehill will be able to throw to Julio Jones and some of those other guys he's been working with for a few weeks. But Julio Jones, obviously, certainly having Julio back gives Tannehill the upside of being, like a top 10 scoring quarterback in fantasy this week, and maybe in tournaments could even crack the top 5 if things go according to plan against the Jaguars. So that is how we're looking at the quarterback position here. I hope this was a helpful preview of the action on DraftKings this weekend. For more information, check out the Daily Plug at OccupyFantasy.com. That's where we give you our favorite quarterback plays, but also For more information, you can check out the Daily Plug at OccupyFantasy.com. That's where we have our favorite quarterback plays for you, but obviously the best plays at the other positions. And then we actually give you some tips for how to utilize our favorite players this week in the different types of contests you may be playing, whether those are low-risk contests or high-risk contests. We give you the tips you need to succeed depending on the type of contest that you're playing. As always, for Occupy Fantasy, I am Chris. Thank you for watching this video, folks, and we will talk to you soon.